When evil cops push their luck too far, they seal their own fate. From abusing their power to breaking the law themselves, these corrupt officers made mistakes so big that they ruined their careers in an instant. Just like this evil police sergeant who was caught for stealing from his own department.
Tell me about what happened during the accidental shooting. Obviously, I've gotten stories, a couple different, people told me, but, you're the guy that accidentally discharged a weapon, so I can't wait to hear from you, man.
Jeff Vermaiden and I were on our way back from Lancaster. We had ate at B-Dubs. We were coming down 79 and we were in the area of Buckalika Beezer Village. And my telephone rang. It was from Darlene Whithofer. I've known the family since, I was a firefighter with her brother Terry forever. And she's on the phone screaming, saying her aunt, she found her aunt in the middle of the road, and that 2 guys had broke into her aunt's house and held her at gunpoint. She was able to escape, but the gunman shot one guy. He was laying in the floor bleeding to death, and the gunman was still in the house. So we're right there between both entrances to Lee's Village, the main entrance and the second entrance.
To make matters worse, Hansi wasn't medically fit to be on duty. His doctor advised him to be on desk duty starting March 12th. Therefore, the chief was already in violation as he went to the crime scene and should have sent in a junior officer instead.
I wasn't even thinking of being on technically light duty.
Right.
Had no gun with me. And with there someone possibly being in that house dying, you guys have done the same thing. You'd have went in. We had 3 people here, and we've been trained. I told Ritter, give me your handgun. Vermaiden went around the side of the trailer to see if there was a door on the back. I said, go get your rifle, because we don't know what he's got. Give me your handgun, same identical handgun that I've got. And we went in, cover 3. Vermaiden was the first one in the door, went to the right, because it's a single wide. Went in, and I went to the left, and I held the whole back of the trailer. And the trailer is really dark. And the only lights that's on is their flashlights and a TV in the very back room. I'm standing here, low ready, left hand, and all of a sudden something flashed. I thought someone was coming up, and when I came up, I hit a corner, and poof, went in the round, went in the floor.
Okay. Did you have your finger on the trigger or something when you went up?
I had, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was coming up to protect myself.
Right.
And I just hit that counter, and it just, pow.
The chief's finger had been amputated, and he made a bad decision to go inside the house. The detectives had plenty more questions as they continued grilling the chief.
Was there any conversation about not telling them about the accidental discharge?
Yes, there was.
Okay. Was that your call?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the rationale there?
Ritter likes to tell things, and for the integrity of the case, integrity of the accidental shooting, Ritter, you don't have to go tell everybody that we had an accidental shooting. Let's get this investigated first. Let's get it looked at. Let's save the integrity of the case right here before anybody, it's 1,700 people know.
Sure.
And that was the only reason. But no reason to hide anything. How can you hide an accidental discharge?
Makes it tough. Things go bang real loud.
Yeah, and you got a spent shell. We got the shell.
Okay.
Yeah, I sure did. I told him. Because he likes to tell. The mayor, I called the mayor 6 times and she never called me back. She called Ritter instead of calling my phone. She does that a lot. Just the other day, she's standing there, Ritter's phone goes off. Call from Peggy Wells. He's talking to her. I walk up and say, why aren't you calling me? I'm the chief.
Right. That's true. Huh. So you guys got some communication barriers between you and the mayor, you would say?
From years, she's been on council for years, and yeah, she never liked the police department. She's actually picketed against the fire department. She don't like them. She had a big meeting with Randy Thorpe, and Billy was still there, and wanted to see about bringing them in and get rid of us. And Billy and them guys told him, you can't afford us.
Right.
But when she took over mayor, and she took me in on January 19th, I told her, I said, all I want to do is my job.
Yeah.
I want to work with you. I have no hard feelings about nothing.
The chief also claimed that he didn't go well with the mayor. Although his stance was reasonably fair until now, This accidental shooting was only the tip of the iceberg as the detectives continued with some tough accusations.
The computer that you had at home, that your excuse was that you had to go home because you had some information on the computer at home that you didn't at work.
My computer at home is set up the same way the computer at the house. I mean, at the office.
Okay.
And if I was at my house doing stuff and writing, you can go to my house right now and I can show you the stuff that I've done, changing policies and changing things. I've had permission from our mayor, Kate Carroll, to go there.
Okay. Have you had permission from this mayor to go there?
No, and I haven't.
Okay. All right.
I wish I'd have brought my phone in. The times that they're probably talking about is I burnt my foot right heel really bad, clear to the bone. And I had to have a special boot. And it hurt to walk in it. And I would come in the mornings, I would get the mail like I was supposed to, I would check the phone recorders and do everything else, and then I would go to the house and do what I had to do. You know, but I always had my walkie right there, and they knew this.
Well, I think part of it too was they said they came over, you know, a couple of times and you were just wearing shorts and a t-shirt watching cops while you were on duty.
No.
And that was the, you know, and then when I checked the records, you had him logged down his hours for that day. You know, but my concern is if you're at home that day, you know, and that's true, let's say that's true what he's saying, you know, if you're just sitting around watching cops when you're supposed to be at work, that could be an issue.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, you're the chief of police, you wouldn't want one of your guys doing that, you know, so, I mean, you gotta understand from, you know, our perspective, looking at numbers and looking at everything else that you know, are brought to us as a concern, we have to try to figure out why, or justify why that's happening.
Right.
Hansi claimed that he had permission to work from home, but he never asked the new mayor about this. As chief of police, he could easily stay logged into the system while lounging at home, a blatant violation of the law. It's clear he was stealing money from the government.
Why do you think that is, Jimmy?
I would go home a lot, but I would not. I would be in blue jeans or my BDU pants and a shirt that always said police, and I would be doing the stuff that I was allowed to do on the computer per the mayor. And then I would go out and go get cards, tag numbers and stuff with the jump cards, and I would do my OLEG, and or write it up. I wouldn't do the OLEG at the house because I couldn't. I could only do it at the office. But I would write the jump card stuff up.
Okay.
I mean, just because if they come home and see me, I'm in a T-shirt that says police and I'm not wearing my full uniform with the bags and all this, everything else, doesn't mean that I'm cheating the system and not working.
What are your procedures for junking cars?
Junking cars?
Yeah, let's say you get a car in an impound, nobody comes and gets it. What is your procedures to get rid of that vehicle?
Run the thing through the state of Ohio. They come back and tell us if there's a lien on it. And then you send that person, or if there's a lien on it, you send that person 10-day notice. Or if there's no lien on it, you send that person, the owner, 10-day notice. And then if they don't collect it or we get it back, they've got 10 days to pay the towing or anything like that. If not, then I go get a title from the BMV, and then we gather how many ever cars we got up, get 3 bids, and then people come out and look at the, you know, like junkyards or private people or whatever. They look at all the cars all at once and give you 3 bids, and the highest bidder gets them.
Okay. Have you ever taken any batteries out and sold the batteries?
No.
No? And the reason I'm asking in this setting, Jimmy, is this is a setting where under Gary Act, you can't be charged with what we're talking about. We can't talk about this criminally.
Right.
Okay, but if that comes out criminally, you know, there's going to be some issues probably with stealing. Okay, so there's been those allegations and a little more than just allegations. Very, very specific things that I've checked out that are not making a lot of sense. Okay, one of them especially being a water pump that was taken off of a truck for Randy.
The accusations against the chief kept piling up, growing more embarrassing by the minute. He was now being questioned about allegedly stealing and selling unclaimed car parts. Although this is only a suspicion, if it's true, it would be a shame for the entire police department.
You know, but what I don't want to see is something that, you know, you get charged for or go to jail for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If anything was taken off them cars, The village already owned them, and they had permission from the mayor to take anything. I personally have never taken anything off the cars, out of the cars, anything. Now Randy and Mark Dimick has, yes, but they've always had permission, and they've never done anything until the vehicles were owned by the village.
Sure.
And they were going to the junk yard. They were getting loaded up that day or the next day and going to the junkyard to be crushed.
Okay. The village owned it. Did you take any batteries then after they owned it? Did the mayor say, hey, you can take these? I'm trying to, explain it for myself in my head why I've had two people tell me the same thing now. Two different people. One, that I would say is completely on your side. One that says maybe not completely on your side, and they're both telling me the same thing. So I'm trying to figure that out why in my head that would be the case. So is there a circumstance or an instance where you did take a battery or two after the mayor cleared it?
I've never taken a battery.
Never.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
All right. Well, I needed to ask you about that because, like I said, I've had a couple of them here. All right.
The detectives were not fully convinced with the chief's answers, as they once again questioned him about the 10th March incident.
Okay. So if one of your officers acted the same way you did, in the same manner, you wouldn't have a problem with that then at all. If they were not due to come back to work for 2 more days and they took a call in the village, they took a call, even though they're not cleared to come back for 2 more days, would you per se, do you have a problem with that?
If it was the same situation that I was put in,
Sure, call exactly the same.
no, I would not.
Okay. And why is that?
Because there was imminent risk of death. He was there. He had plenty enough people to take care of what the situation was. And I believe he has what word do I want to use?
You want to use probably duty to do something, right?
Yeah.
I assume that's where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I would not have a problem with that at all. I mean, the accidental discharge was very unfortunate and a bad timing, but, no, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all.
The detectives then focused on a major issue within the department: the lack of hourly rate checks. This allowed anyone in power to manipulate their hours and walk away with a hefty paycheck. Shockingly, this scheme had been going on for over 2 years and was only uncovered now.
So then you're ultimately responsible for making sure the numbers are accurate when they go to Mary, who I assume Mary does some other report as well, or did at the time.
I have no clue. We just turn in our timesheets to her.
But you make a report for city council, or for village council. I'm sorry, if I keep calling city council, I'm just used to this. You make a report for village council, right?
The end of the month, they would get a report.
Yes.
On with the fire department and every street department and everything else.
Right. And that report is done by who?
We're making.
Okay, so Vermaiden does the report. He does the report up, and I would assume, since you're the guy in charge ultimately, and you're the one responsible for numbers ultimately, you look at that report.
No.
You don't look at the report that Vermaiden's doing?
No, he would come in or on a Friday when I'm off on Fridays, and he knows Monday is the council meeting. He would do it up, and then he would take it over and give it to Valerie.
Let's go back. Let's say the auxiliaries. Who keeps track of their numbers then? I got where paid guys are. Vermaiden's in charge of the paid guys. I got
Vermaiden.
So Vermaiden's also in charge of the
Yes.
auxiliaries. Okay. So when those numbers go over, do you check their numbers too to make sure that they're accurate? Because you said, like you said, you know who's coming and going in your police department.
Well, he'd put the hours down for them. They were, some of them worked 16 hours a month. Some of them worked more.
And some of them worked less. In fact, a lot of them worked less.
I have no clue.
But you know who comes. But you know who's coming and going, Jimmy. That's the whole thing I want to get at. You know who's coming and going in the department, and there are people like Schilling. Is it Schilling? Schiller?
Mm-hmm.
I know
Jason Schilling.
Jason Schilling.
Yeah.
I talked to lots of people, and they said he only comes during taser training. That's it. And he's listed for 16 hours a month.
Correct.
Every single month.
Correct. Because Frank Foster, our mayor, said he did our radar, he did our taser, and he did something. What else did he do? Radar, taser.
It was later revealed that the department had been issuing paychecks for officers who weren't even showing up for duty. Now, the big question is, who was pocketing the extra money? Was it the chief himself, or was someone else manipulating the system behind the scenes?
It may not be 16 hours. I believe it is accurate because the mayor, Frank Foster, said, we will trade him this 16 hours a month if he continues to train us like
Right.
that. And that's the way we did it.
I understand what you're saying. I do. I get it. But, you know, a guy like that's invaluable. You know, but you want that guy to actually work. And when you're presenting those numbers to the village council, the numbers don't match what is actually going on. You know, so if you're putting 16 hours down, it looks like that guy's been there for 16 hours that month. He put in at least 16 hours of time, right?
If you wanted to look at it that way, yes.
I don't know, I mean, I really don't know how else to look at it, Jimmy, when it comes to that, because, again, yeah, valuable guy, you want to keep him around, you want to keep him happy, but he's not putting the numbers in that you are saying he's putting in. But it's on there for 16 hours a month. Every month that she's been there, she's got 16 hours a month. I call her, she says, no, that's not accurate. I call the guy she rides with, Haas.
Jeff Haas.
Jeff says, no, she does not work 16 hours a month. Yeah, you guys put 16 hours a month on that sheet.
Again,
You understand, that's a criminal charge. That could be a criminal charge to do all that
there's no
stuff.
monetary value.
There's no monetary value. You're making it public record. You're falsifying a public document because it's going over to village council. You see what I'm saying? So you're falsifying a document that goes over there, and I don't know why. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. You know, but I mean, this is a place to explain it, Jimmy. If you're going to, I mean, this is where it gets explained.
You know, you delegate something to someone, and you have faith in that person. And evidently, I shouldn't have had faith in that person.
Well, here's the thing. I delegate things to him all the time, constantly, because I'm a supervisor. But what I also do on the back end is I go and check to make sure they're done. Not that I don't trust them, but you know, being a supervisor, you have to make sure.
And that's what I should have done.
And let's.
By this time, Chief Hansey had been accused of fraud, but the worst was about to happen as he started to get enraged by the detective's line of questioning.
Let's go to these checks that were cashed for the insurance company. Now, I talked to the insurance company about those checks, and they had some pretty big issues with them. All right, that may be something that I'm going to have to turn over to somebody else to investigate criminally. If it gets to that point, I may have to do that. I don't know what's there. The insurance checks that when you were transported to the hospital and you were supposed to pay, you weren't supposed to cash them, and you cashed 4 of them.
Oh Lord, you gotta be kidding me.
See, Jimmy, the problem with an internal investigation is once it starts rolling, it starts opening the door to all kinds of other stuff that comes in. And I have a duty now to at least address it and try to figure out what's going on. In this setting, again, you're under Garrity, okay? I can't use anything you say criminally, period. Okay?
Oh, I understand.
So, all right, I want you to understand that, before you.
This is funny. These checks, I honestly, wholeheartedly, with my life, believe they were my Aflac checks. Because I talked to John Curtis, you can call him and ask him, I got him in my phone. He says, you've got a check coming, and you're going to have checks coming for your follow-up visits. I just got a check, and you can run out to my truck, I'll give you the keys. I got $3,100 out there. I just got an Aflac check for this.
Okay.
I honestly, wholeheartedly, 1,000,000% believe them checks were mine. This is starting to piss me off. When I found out they weren't, I made arrangements and they were taking money out of my payroll every month.
They mentioned
I didn't fight the system because I honestly believed they were my checks.
Okay, so you guys have made arrangements to get it taken care of.
Yeah, there was arrangements taken care of.
Okay, perfect.
Every month that money came out.
Is it still coming out, or you gotta pay?
No, it's got to be paid off because they hadn't been taking their money out.
Okay. All right.
Guys, that upsets me.
But you gotta understand that there's something like that.
not you guys.
I understand, and Jimmy, I don't want this to be an adversarial thing, man.
Yeah.
I want this to be just all out there, and again, out of respect for you and the job you've done for so long.
This was the first time something appeared to get on his nerves. Although he claimed it was an honest mistake, the detective still had to investigate the issue. A small investigation had led to all of the previous mess exposed.
Why are you allowing them to leave the office in the first place? I know that everybody's mentioned everybody's got stuff at home. Why has anybody got anything at home? Why does Jeff or Maiden have any paperwork at home? Any files or anything else like that?
The only thing he would have at home would be his qualifications for us, and there were his copies. And when Peggy was asking me about the qualifications, I didn't know Jeff had already put them all together, and they were in the cabinet right by his desk.
Gotcha.
So there was.
And let me ask you this, Jimmy. And again, this has got to stay here with this stuff. Did you guys ever kind of cheat your way through the qualifications? Because I looked at your qualifications, and you know, if you've shot, you've only missed one round, you know, throughout 3 different guns in a couple of different years, and then you went to try to qualify this time and couldn't hit anything. Something jumps out right there, and just for me as being an investigator. And then when I talked to everybody, they said they don't watch you qualify. No one's seen you qualify besides Vermeda.
I qualified before everybody because I was told that I have to watch them.
Okay.
In case I have to testify in court. Yes, they did do well, and Vermaiden wasn't their trainer.
Hansi was getting nervous with each passing minute. However, the biggest accusation was yet to be made about the chief stealing money from the dead.
And it's also fair to say that you're in charge of that. Ultimately, it's your department, your responsibility to make sure those numbers are accurate.
Their numbers were never, ever in the whole world ever meant to be accurate. That was just a summary of what we've done.
Okay.
The only thing accurate in that whole thing was the very front page. That was accuracy.
And it wasn't accurate because you guys missed Ritter's numbers on almost every month.
What do you mean?
Like Ritter's numbers that he had, your call volume is actually way bigger than you guys claim it is. You guys have more calls and did more things than you guys claim. Because you didn't factor Ritter's numbers in. All of Ritter's call records, all his calls, all his stats. Even his hours worked. Nobody calculated it.
The Ritter's not putting his stuff in the computer. And that would be the problem there with call volume.
What do you mean put stuff in the computer?
He's not typing his stuff in his CRs and call records in.
Ritter's name is not actually even on the list of auxiliary officers or part-time officers, full-time officers. His name's not even on a lot of it. So
Steve's is it?
No, so we wrote it in and put down the stats that he got, and your numbers actually rose. Instead of being down here, they actually rose a lot. So you guys aren't getting credit for a lot of stuff you're doing because his numbers aren't being calculated in that. So, you know, I don't think your village council is getting an accurate number, really, of anything. They're not getting an accurate number of how many people are coming out to work, their hours, or their call volume.
Finally, the detective came upon the real question. Did the chief steal any extra money for the hours he didn't work? Once again, the chief was unhappy with the accusation and went on an angry rant.
Were there any times, Jimmy, that you claimed some hours that you didn't actually work?
No. There's hours that I work that I don't put down on my timesheet.
So you work an extra hours and not claim it?
Yes. My phone would ring constantly, and I'd have to go out. I never put all the hours down, because I know we're short of money, and I didn't want to work myself out of a job. You can ask any mayor that.
Yeah. What's the most people you guys have had out at one time?
2.
2?
Yeah, 3.
At any time, any given day. You guys aren't anywhere on there. You and Vermeiden are nowhere on there. On the call logs, on the CR, nothing, 0.
What day was it?
April 25th, 2017. It was on a Tuesday. Ritter actually got called into work to cover for either you or Vermeiden, one of the two. He was not on his regular scheduled days.
Yeah, okay.
Do you remember that day? Do you remember going forward with Vermeiden?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was on
We've
that.
been forward on several places.
Sure. That was on a Tuesday. And do you remember going to Perry State Forest? That's your timesheet, right?
$12 hours, 6 A to 6 P.
Yeah, you see the problem I'm having with that?
Yeah. That should have been, I didn't even finish this week.
Right. That's because somebody grabbed it and made a copy of it because they knew you were out four-wheeling when you were supposed to be at work. That's why that's there.
Now,
And because they were concerned that you were taking time off and doing things and claiming time for work.
yeah.
And that's why there's a copy of that. You probably did actually finish that timesheet, but that's a copy of the timesheet up until that point.
I think we do have the finished one.
And we do have the finished one.
And it
So,
matches.
yeah, so that's your handwriting.
Probably
your
that's my
signature.
handwriting, yeah.
You claimed 12 hours that day
Yeah.
when you weren't there.
Well, I can tell you this.
At this time, one thing is pretty apparent. This entire police department is messed up and has a lot to change. However, most of the blame goes to James Hansey, the chief of police.
425.
And Vermaiden was with you, and Vermaiden claimed 6 hours.
Why would he pay him 6 hours when he's supposed to work on Tuesday? He works noon to 10.
No idea.
So that should, I don't even know why that was put there. That was it should have been noon to 10 instead of 4 to 10. And it'd have been 10 hours.
What time did you guys get back from that trip?
Oh hell, I don't remember.
Was it dark?
No.
Maybe he tried to come in later, I don't know. But he put down numbers too on that day that he wasn't at work. The
Right.
Ritter had to come in because the two of you were both gone. And the dispatch traffic had Ritter on there, not you guys.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Collier, 4 to 11.
and you're being honest with me, that, you know, you guys were out there on the 25th.
Oh yeah.
You know, so that's the problem, Jimmy. And you know, I turned this stuff over to Mayor Wells and to Village Council. They're probably gonna have an issue.
Well, you know what? This was not done on purpose. I probably should do my time sheet every day that I get done, and I didn't. That right there, the 25th, was not done on purpose. You know, and I can understand it looks terrible.
But Jimmy, you just told me earlier that you do it like that you make sure that you don't put that ending on there until you're actually done.
I just started doing that
Okay, I gotcha.
because of all this issue of them saying time sheet this, time sheet that, time sheet this.
Right.
And pay is very,
This is, Jimmy, I don't know if you've ever seen this before. This is a couple years of people thinking that you're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing.
As the detectives approached the end of the interrogation, the chief started to get restless. He eventually admitted that he had also made some mistakes.
I didn't turn in some hours because I knew I'd work myself out of a job. And that's the way it's always been. I'll give you an example, the reason why. Right before Mary left in November, December, I asked if we could get a window tint meter for $48. No, you don't have the money. Seriously?
Wow, 48 bucks?
$48. So that's the way we've always been in that village from day one I started. They don't give us nothing. We buy our own paper. We buy our own uniform. They give us a uniform allowance. But we buy our own boots and we buy our own guns and our belts and stuff that whatever the uniform allowance won't cover.
You know, that reminds me of something though, Jimmy, I gotta ask you before you take off here. You threw away a bunch of property the other day. Yeah,
No, it was boxes and stuff like that.
okay. And one of them was one of our uniform shirts.
Yes,
I didn't
yes,
see that.
yeah.
Why'd you throw away our shirt?
It had been in the back of the property room forever.
So some of the stuff you threw away, was that property or just boxes? Because we found some dried up weed and all that stuff too out there. You understand, you gotta get court orders to throw that stuff out, right?
Right, that was just dirt.
This sergeant was corrupt, but these next cops ended up digging their own graves. In June 20th, 23, Franklin police dispatchers received a 911 call from a local gas station. The caller reported that 2 young males were being loud in the parking lot, but they later left after being asked to do so.
911, what's the exact location of your emergency?
Hi, I don't mean to waste any of your time or anything like that, but is there any way that you can put me through with Sergeant Phillips? Whenever we asked them to leave, they basically started getting rowdy and stomping their car in the parking lot. And I know where the cars stays at too because they like to run their mouth a lot, so I'm pretty sure I have a pretty good indication where they're parked at now.
Okay,
But
what is your
we
name?
just can't have that here. Sergeant Phillips knows exactly where I am. We're really good friends.
Okay.
The caller then called again to complain about the same young man. The caller said they drove by the gas station again, blasting loud music and flipping him off. They then proceeded to park at another property.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
Hey, I was just on the phone with you. I just got off Phillips. Is there any way you can tell him that this car just literally parked up here without...
Okay, slow down. You didn't just get off the phone with me. I'm a different person. What are this in regards
Oh,
to?
I am so sorry. So I literally just got off the phone with a person. They're blaring music and flipping me off, and they're like over here with a Valvoline hit right beside the store.
Several officers were tasked to find the men who had insulted the caller and showed him the middle finger. As the cops were leaving the area, Officer Brown saw two people a few streets away who fit the description, but they were on foot.
What's going on, dude? What's up? What are you guys doing? Okay. You want to hang out here for a second?
Why?
Because I want to talk to you for a second.
Like committed a crime?
Well, I don't know. Where are you coming from?
I don't answer questions.
Huh?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, come here.
Am I being detained?
How old are you?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, come here.
Am I being detained?
Yes, you are.
What crime have I committed?
Sit down.
What crime have I committed?
You as well. Have a seat.
What's going on here? What's going on?
Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat.
What's going on?
Have a seat.
What crime have I committed?
Okay, so we're investigating a possible crime at Twice Dailies.
Okay.
Where are you guys coming from?
What's the
I don't
possible
answer questions. Okay. 453. I'll take a second unit.
Without investigating further, Officer Brown put one of the young men in handcuffs, saying that he was looking into a crime. But until then, no real crime had been reported.
Can you take your hands out of your pockets for me? How old are you?
I don't answer questions.
How old are you?
I don't answer questions.
Cool. Sounds good. We'll wait for my sergeant to show up.
Somewhere to go.
Stop.
I'm always in a hurry. God damn. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4? 4.
Congrats, you can count.
3.
I'm glad
Oh, that's a crime Nick.
I'm glad you did.
That's a crime Nick over there. Old one. I got the 4.6 liter. 2 valve.
Why are you handcuffed?
I don't know. I ain't committed no crime.
Why are you being detained?
That's a great question.
What's the issue here?
Well, you tell me why we got a call for you guys.
We were just walking. We didn't do nothing.
For what?
This is a public sidewalk. I ain't committed no crime.
We're on public
Okay.
property and we're walking.
Okay, that's great.
I was trying to
If it's
handcuff.
determined that you're not the 2 juveniles we're looking for, you'll be free to go. Okay, but right now we have a call for service. 2
Yeah, but a
juveniles.
call doesn't mean nothing. What have you investigated?
Okay, you're not going to tell me how to do my job and my law.
Well, you're not doing it right because I ain't committed no crime.
How old
That's
are
another
you?
one.
How old are you?
I don't ask questions.
Okay, good for you. Well, when you're an adult, you talk to me about adult things, but right
I
now,
don't ask questions.
okay, it's not a question, it's a statement. You watch way too much TikTok and YouTube, don't you?
What you talking about? Always wrong to know my rights, I guess.
I'm not questioning you, I'm just explaining things, but you're going to be a wise guy. Don't really care.
I guess knowing your rights is being wise.
You asked the question, I tried to answer, but you can be a smart guy, little.
As the young men questioned the officer about the grounds for their detainment and the investigation, the officer started criticizing the man in handcuffs. Shortly afterward, Sergeant Phillips, who was the caller's friend, arrived on the scene.
Where's your car?
I don't ask questions.
You don't answer questions? How old are you?
I don't ask questions.
Looks like a juvenile to me, right?
What crime have I committed?
Oh, you're already in handcuffs. Perfect. How old are you?
I don't ask questions.
All right. There you go. Under arrest.
For what?
Suspicion of curfew. Till we prove who you are.
Suspicion of curfew?
Yeah.
What's that even mean, suspicion of curfew?
Yeah. You look like you're underage.
So if I told you if I was 21, then it'd be okay.
Then I asked for your ID.
But what crime have we committed?
I just answered
It's
that.
not a stop and ID state.
Yeah, Tennessee's not stopping. You can't just go to someone and say, oh, you just look a certain
Okay,
way,
whatever,
so we can arrest you.
The officers arrested both young men for breaking Franklin, Tennessee's curfew regulation. On weekdays, the legislation forbids anybody 17 or under from appearing in public between 11 and 5 and 12 to 5 on weekends. However, being legally employed is an exceptional case.
You have anything sharp on
I do
you?
not consent to searches or seizures.
I understand that.
All right, well, you're violating my rights right now.
Okay, I understand.
You have ID on you? Okay, good for you. You can answer on a juvenile if you're under age of 18.
We're under arrest for being suspicion
Never said you're under arrest.
under arrest for being suspicion
Never said you're under arrest.
Oh.
Did I?
What does it look like to you?
Why are we
Am I
handcuffed?
free to go?
You tell me, street lawyer.
Are we being detained?
Yes, we're being detained. We have committed no crimes.
Upon examining the men's IDs, the officers realized they were both of legal age. At that point, the cops should have apologized and removed the handcuffs before releasing the individuals, but that's not what happened.
Guess we don't live in America no more. It's a pure tyrannical state. You must obey the government. You are not free to walk the streets. Sir?
What are we doing here, officers? What are we doing here?
We'll let you know. We're the ones that are in charge right now. If you couldn't
That's
tell.
all I'm asking.
Yeah.
They're just going to detain us long. Wasting, you're wasting my time. I ain't breaking no law.
Take a seat. Take a seat. Take a seat, man.
Let's go. Have a seat next to your friend right here.
Oh, there you
They're
go.
getting physical. They're getting physical.
Listen.
I'm helping you down.
Sorry, man. I got bad legs.
Okay, I'm helping you down. So. Oh my God.
Dude, he's got a hernia. You gotta wash out, bro. You got medical conditions.
Okay. Good for you guys. Yeah.
Somewhere to be always in or hurt.
We'll get another full FIM
Just came
for
back.
the harassment call from there. We can prove they're overage, and they can go home.
So we haven't broken any laws, is what I'm hearing?
You do realize that while you two guys are screwing around, wasting our goddamn time.
I'm not
people
doing
are
nothing.
actually
You came up to us. We was minding our own business.
I
We
just
ain't breaking no
got
laws.
off a long shift, and I'm trying to go for a walk.
Okay, so go home and stop bothering people because
We not bothering
you're
no one.
wasting
We
our
walking down
time.
the
Why do you think
sidewalk.
we're back here? Well, you're not, because your car is illegally parked on somebody's private property that's closed because you were just in your car. You understand how easy this would have been had you just answered my questions in the first place?
But that's the thing, though. I live in America. I don't have to bow down to everything y'all say. I don't got to do whatever you say. I'm a free citizen. I ain't break no laws. I'm a free citizen.
What are they, teammates?
While the other cops persisted in criticizing the young men, Sergeant Phillips decided to talk with his friend, who had reported the incident involving the two boys.
Are we free to go?
Nope. That's why handcuffs are on you.
They violate no rights.
I feel as though my rights are being infringed upon.
I don't mean to be rude, but like, do you guys have like medical, psychological problems and like
Yeah,
that?
I actually have a hiatal hernia. It's severe.
No, like anything that would like actually make you guys act so strange and
I don't know.
No, I just work a lot, so I like to take
Okay.
walks at night.
okay.
Get outside, you know?
Despite their consistent defense, the officers kept insisting that the two guys had committed a crime. The police completely disregarded the fact that no actual crime was reported. The only things that had been reported were loud music and disruptive behavior.
The real crime is that you're wearing mismatched socks and the fact that you two have been rambling here for the last
Nah, the
15
real crime
minutes.
is that you came over here to detain me when I did nothing wrong.
I'll give you
You
that
searched
one.
me.
The real
I
crime
don't-
is you're
I don't
wasting
consent to
everybody's
searches.
time.
You wasted my time. My time more valuable than your time.
It's not, because
you on
the
the
public-
clock and you violate my rights.
The public pays for us to service them, and when you two
Yeah,
are
and you're not servicing no one. Who
My
you
tax
servicing?
money.
Who are you
pay a lot of
servicing?
tax money working at Costco.
Who are you
Thank you for your
servicing?
service.
It's still tax money.
Who are you servicing?
America thanks you for your service at Costco. Okay.
America doesn't thank you for your service. You're a disgrace.
I don't work at Costco.
Well, one of you does. Your little name tag right there.
Little name tag. They got it for little, man.
Well, it is little, so.
Hey, bro, that might be what she says to you. But I know what she said to me.
You know, people at Costco make like
What's his name?
What's up, your boyfriend? What's his name?
what's 60 to 100K a year at Costco.
What's that?
You know they make like 60 to 100K a year at Costco if you're there for a while.
Well, money's not the point. The point is that we're here. Let's hear that.
Well, you're talking about that taxpayer money.
They're servicing the public. Fire department's going to a call right now.
Yeah, and you know
We're
why no one
stuck here
hates the fire
because you
department?
two are
Because the fire
too
department is
stupid to
helping
make
people.
adult decisions.
To walk up the side of the
Walking on
road.
the sidewalk is not illegal.
Is that not an adult's decision to make? As adults, we don't have the decision to make the walk on the sidewalk.
I guess being a free citizen is no longer a thing.
Seems like we in a kind of
Tyrannical state.
tyrannical state right now since we in handcuffs are walking on the side of the road.
Is your body camera on?
I don't answer questions.
Nah, but you got to.
I don't answer questions.
Nah, you got to.
Name and badge
Ask
number?
questions.
Name and badge number? Is it not in your policy?
No,
say
you
your
have to
name
do
and
it
badge
now.
number? Okay, so you're violating
See,
two of
no.
our rights and you not following policy. Is that what I'm heard?
Incorrect.
Meanwhile, Sergeant Phillips was unable to meet with his friend at the gas station as he was not around, so he inquired with an employee about the details of the car's drivers and what exactly happened.
Do you want them trespassed from here? Okay. If they're harassing y'all, they're up here, they're street lawyers and don't understand why we're getting out with them and why they have to ID themselves and They just parked at the business back here that's closed, and
Yeah, I was in the bathroom. Tyler told me they've been here for about an hour, so I went over there and I told them they need to get their gas. This isn't a hangout spot. They need to leave. And they started calling obscene names.
fair enough. Figured when I was up here heating up my food, they spend about 5-10 minutes on the candy aisle, so I figured they're either trying to buy beer or trying to buy smokes and weren't old enough.
Oh, they weren't getting it.
They look like they're about 16.
They weren't getting it anyway.
Alrighty.
After searching their car and finding no evidence against them, Sergeant Phillips eventually freed the men, saying that since they were of legal age, they could not be arrested under Franklin, Tennessee regulation.
We'll cut you out of here because we now know that you're not out after curfew, but you are banned from the dailies. You were harassing the clerk. That's the reason we got out with you as well. Because he asked you to leave and you gave him a bunch of lip and stuff like that. Oh, any other questions?
No, sir.
How about you?
Name and badge number?
Phillips?
All right, you have a good night.
All right, you dismissed.
Wishful thinking. Freaking fry. Yeah.
Oh, sir, that was Dawn's fault.
Despite the clear violation of civil rights, the harsh truth is that proving damages may be challenging. The young guys were held and handcuffed for about 30 minutes, but without concrete evidence or significant harm, their chances of obtaining compensation were slim. However, sometimes police officers evade consequences after violating citizens' rights.
You're in public.
You're standing inches from me. You are the sheriff of this county. You took an oath to uphold the Constitution. You're not going to have a civil conversation?
Veteran First Amendment Auditor Sean Paul Reyes decided to conduct an audit of the Limestone County Sheriff's Office. As he was filming the outskirts of the building, a deputy rolled over, trying to intimidate him.
Who are you? And your name? I'm sorry? I can't hear you.
What are you doing?
I'm just taking some pictures and video of the facility.
Why?
For my own personal use. What are you doing?
A guy out here trying to film the jail.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, I was going to go to lunch.
You were going to go to lunch? Don't let me stop you.
You're not stopping me.
Yeah, you're not detained, or you're free to go to get your lunch. There's... Okay.
The deputy didn't have much to say, but it was obvious that he didn't like being filmed. Moments later, he returned to Sean, his attitude taking a nosedive.
I'm sorry, sir, I can't hear you. Your truck is very loud.
You don't have my permission to use my likeness in your film.
I don't have your permission to use your likeness?
Yeah, you're not using my image on your film.
Well, we're in public. You have security cameras here.
Name?
Well, my name is Sean.
Sean what?
Just Sean.
Sean, you gotta have a last name.
Just Sean, sir.
My attorney's gonna need it.
Your attorney's gonna need it? I'm sure he'll find me.
Not on your camera, I'm not.
You are in public. This is a public place. We're in public. You have security cameras here filming me.
What I'm saying is I don't know what you're doing.
I would appreciate it if you backed away from me. I would appreciate that. Just back away.
But what I can say...
I would appreciate it if you backed away from me.
You're in public.
You're standing inches from me. Back away.
You're in public.
Back away, officer. De-escalate. Get back in your truck and go have your lunch. Go enjoy your lunch. This is not what you want to do.
What's the name of your YouTube page?
I wonder why these tyrants are so against transparency when there's nothing illegal or suspicious about it. The deputy's petty behavior escalated as Sean tried to de-escalate the situation.
You want to go to lunch. That's what you want to do. You don't want to do this. There's no reason for it. You thought you were going to intimidate me coming up on me like that. Didn't work, did it? Didn't back up an inch. Now please back up and de-escalate. Or go get your supervisor. Can you call a supervisor? Because this guy is trying to intimidate me. You intimidate those guys in there. You ain't going to intimidate me. You intimidate them because they're in handcuffs. and they're in cells. I'm not either one of those right now.
Sean had yet to meet an officer here who wouldn't escalate and take things by the law. As he attempted to enter the lobby, resistance greeted him once more.
Absolutely disgusting.
You cannot video inside.
This is a public lobby.
Do not videotape
I'm here.
in
I'm
this
here.
building.
I'm here to get a complaint form since you don't want to take my
Okay,
complaint.
complaint form is right down here at dispatch.
This is not a public lobby.
If you do the complaint form, go to dispatch.
Okay,
That's
but
where
this
you
is a
pick
public
that up
lobby,
at.
correct? I don't consent to using my likeness on your security camera footage. Just so you know. So this is just the visitor center, guys. We're not going to be intimidated by these tyrants. Hey, Sergeant. Right.
Something wrong or?
Sergeant Moore, no, it was just, my name is Sean. I'm an independent journalist. I'm just taking some B-roll footage of the facility here. I'm working on a story, the county facility here. And while I was doing that, some correctional officers approached me. One in particular, he got in my face, tried to intimidate me. And, you know, I just wanted to file a complaint against that correctional officer.
Okay, you'll have to say that with their supervisor. I'm a patrol sergeant.
Right.
It's going to be a...
Right, the supervisor just ignored me. He saw it happen. Like I said, he got like right in my face, like inches from my face.
Okay. Which supervisor do you speak to with corrections?
I believe it was Sergeant Smith.
Sergeant Smith?
Sean talked to this deputy, who was much more cordial and was willing to listen at least. As directed, he went outside to look for a complaint form, but was stunned by the receptionist's answer.
We don't have complaint forms. You can talk to somebody and file a complaint.
Right, so there's no form that exists to file a complaint against a correctional officer?
Not at my office, no.
Not at your office.
No.
Where is the main sheriff's department?
So this is the main sheriff's department. The front office is just around the front.
I find it really just mind-boggling that there's not a form.
So the complaint starts if you have an issue with a deputy or a corrections officer, you talk to their supervisor, you go over them, and then if there's anything to the complaint, the supervisor will then do a written counseling with the person you have the complaint on if there is any kind of violation of policy.
Right.
So there's not a form that I know of for you to fill out. However, when you speak to the supervisor, if there was a violation of policy or some kind of unethical conduct, the supervisor can then do a written counseling or a written disciplinary with the person, and it goes in their personnel file.
Are you with the Limestone County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, sir.
Just a quick question for you.
Okay.
I was told that there doesn't exist complaint forms to file a complaint against a deputy or a correctional officer in this case. Do you know that
not a form?
like a form, like a complaint form, like somebody comes into the sheriff's department and says, hey, I want to file a complaint against deputy so-and-so.
Sure.
You just speak to a supervisor, there's no form you fill out?
Yeah, so not that I know, there's not, because I'm just patrol deputy.
Okay.
If you do want to make a complaint, you can just
Speak to
call
a
up here
supervisor.
Monday through Friday and report it to our captain.
Okay.
Captain
Just
Craig.
mind-boggling to me that I've been to police departments all across the country and everybody
Yes, sir.
has a complaint form. So
There could be one, but
right.
not to my
No, but your
knowledge.
sergeant told me there wasn't one, so
Okay.
I'm going to take his word for
Yes,
it.
sir.
Tyrant deputies who can't handle a camera. No complaint forms in sight. Just when you think this department can't get any worse, the sheriff shows up and reveals why all the deputies have been acting so bizarrely.
Hey, Josh.
You requested to talk with me?
Yes.
The sheriff?
Yes, sir. I would love to speak to you.
So you have a complaint?
Yeah, so I was out here just taking some pictures and video. I was very cordial to everybody who came into contact with me. And an Officer Rupp said, what are you doing? I told him what I was doing. I was taking some pictures and video. I told him my name is Sean. I don't provide any other identifying information other than that, but Officer Rupp became very aggressive, got out of his vehicle. He was supposed to go to lunch. He says, hey, I'm going to lunch. I said, all right, so go to lunch. Have a nice lunch, officer. He gets right into my face, literally an inch from my face, inches from my face. I'm not here to harass anybody. I'm not here to try and do anything criminal in nature. I'm here to exercise my rights.
Yeah, can you show me the video of what happened?
Sure, I can show you the video, no problem. I can show it to you.
Real quick and I'll discuss it.
Okay, I'll show it to you. Hold on.
The sheriff demands to see the video, and just when Sean thinks he might get a fair solution, the sheriff drops a hilariously absurd remark.
Here's the deal, man. You're welcome to film and do everything. All right. I know what you're here for. You may get some reaction out of people. I'm gonna go talk to them and let them know that you can be here and you can do this. It's just part of it. But as long as you don't start harassing no one or sticking it up anybody's face, I don't care, man. You're welcome to be here. So.
Right.
But
what do you?
talk with him.
Right. So I'm not looking for anybody to harass me. I'm not looking for anybody to intimidate me.
But are you trying? You're trying to provoke a reaction out of people. So
Well, you just watched. You just watched the video.
But he didn't do anything illegal, did he?
It's very concerning that you're the sheriff of this county and you don't. You could say he didn't do anything illegal.
He didn't.
He didn't do anything illegal. Well, I would consider it harassment, so I would consider it illegal. I would consider it illegal. If I did that to you, if I walked up to you, so if it's not illegal, I can walk up to you and get in your face, right?
Yeah, you don't bother me, but you're not going to do to other people.
Okay, but I didn't do it to him. He came up to me. You saw the video, Sheriff.
I will go and I will talk to him.
But you saw the video. I was nowhere near him.
You're free to be out here, film, record, take pictures, whatever you want to do.
Right.
If you get a provoked reaction out of what you're trying to look for, you can't go complaining. But he didn't do anything legal. I will address it with him. But other than that,
but what about recording? Is provoking anybody, Sheriff?
Huh?
Just recording in and of itself is not provoking.
Right here today.
My goal is to peacefully exercise my rights and to see how our public servants, including yourself, Sheriff,
see if you can provoke
to see how they react to us engaging in a constitutionally protected activity. It's scary to me. You took an oath. You are the sheriff of this county. You took an oath to uphold the Constitution.
I've told you what
You're not going to have a civil conversation because one of your. It is. I'm not being argumentative. You're saying that I'm here provoking people, but you're not taking accountability for your officers who tried to provoke me and intimidate me.
Next up, we have another cop who was caught lying on camera.
If you don't mind, can you roll the windows down for me?
No, I'm good.
If you don't mind, can you roll the windows down for me, sir?
I can hear you.
Sir.
I can hear you.
I need you to roll the windows down.
I can hear you.
Sir, I need you to roll the windows down for me. All right. As a matter of fact, pull up past that vehicle right there.
Sure.
All right.
Let me make sure my camera's
I'm
getting.
giving you lawful commands. I understand.
Is that a law?
Sir, I'm giving you lawful commands. I need you to roll the windows down.
All right, here's my license.
I'm asking you nicely.
No, sir.
I'm asking you nicely.
No, sir.
Roll the windows down.
No, sir. You can check my license. You can check my insurance. I can be on my way. I can hear you fine.
Okay.
It's not a law for me to roll my window down, sir. Okay.
Brian was correct in his stance, as there is no law regarding fully lowering the window. Now, this appeared to be a simple stop, but there's hardly a moment cops can't make worse.
He said it's not a law for me to require him to roll his windows down. Yes.
Even though Brian's window had a fairly reasonable tint, the deputy complained about its darkness and wrote him a ticket out of retaliation.
All right. I issued you a tint violation. The reason for me having you to roll down your windows because I can't even identify you whatsoever. Your tint is too dark. I issued you a citation. If you have any questions, call the number right there. There's going to be a tint violation.
Appreciate
it. Drive safe. You have a good one.
And did you check my tent?
Sir?
What's your badge number? Name and badge number?
Sir, it's right there on that paper right
What's
there.
your name and badge number? He never checked my tent. Tent violation.
It's sad to see how this deputy wanted his ego to get over his duties. However, Brian made a challenge the ticket in court, and the judge ruled that the deputy could see through the window and declared Brian not guilty. This ego-tripping cop made a huge blunder, but sometimes their actions backfire on themselves. On November 23, 2017, a couple of police officers were dispatched after a domestic disturbance in an area. The cops soon found the suspect, 22-year-old Christopher McClinton, sitting in a vehicle with his girlfriend. It didn't take long for the situation to get heated.
Okay. I can arrest you for failure to disclose if you want to. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I'm here all day.
We didn't call you.
Okay.
We didn't call you.
You didn't call me. Your mother called me.
For no reason.
And there's something going on with you because your eyes are all red. You look like you've been crying.
Smoke. I'm allergic to smoke.
Well, then tell him don't smoke around you.
This is my car.
But that is right.
I need your ID. I ain't telling you again. Let me see your ID.
Listen, dude. We got called, okay, on a disturbance. Several people called, okay? So we need your ID, or you can be arrested for failure to identify yourself to a police officer, okay? It's your last chance. Or we're going to take you out of the car, we're going to cuff you.
3 seconds. 1.
Chris.
Give us
2.
Or you're going to be charged.
3.
Wait.
ID or no?
Chris.
All you gotta do is comply, dude.
Chris, come on, stop.
Let's go.
Chris.
As one of the officers started to remove him from the vehicle, Christopher resisted, which forced the other officer to deploy a tape. However, what happened next was quite shocking and bizarre.
Let's go.
Chris, stop. He didn't do anything wrong, bro. Stop.
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car. You're under arrest. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Let go! Let go! Let go! You got me!
Stop. Sorry. Sorry, Nick. Put your hand behind your back. I got Nick with one probe.
Draw me another unit. Draw me another unit. He wouldn't give them his ID. That's not
The officer accidentally taped his partner in the head, causing serious injury. Here's another angle on this mishap.
Let go! Let go! Let go! You got me!
Stop! Sorry. Sorry, Nick.
You're right.
Put your hand behind your back.
The officer was rushed to a hospital for a head injury, whereas Christopher was later charged with obstructing official business and resisting arrest. Next up, the actions of these racist officers will leave you stunned.
It's an overnighter. An overnighter is a team on the bus. Oh, like a football team? Women's lacrosse. Women's lacrosse team? I got you.
On April 20th, 2022, a bus carrying a Delaware State University women's lacrosse team was pulled over by a deputy for a lane violation. The deputy talked to the driver and quickly escalated the situation.
Final stops at the 73 northbound. The reason why I'm stopping is for a left lane violation. You can't ride in that left lane.
I'm passing and going around in the left lane. And it says trucks can't get in the left lane.
You are considered, you got air brakes on this?
I do.
You can't be in that left lane.
Even though it specifically say trucks?
Anything bigger than 6 wheels. Okay? 100% you can't be in that left lane at all, okay?
Okay.
You got 2 other lanes that you can go back and forth through.
Right.
That lane you cannot be in. Alright. Where are you guys headed?
Delaware.
Headed to Delaware from
Jacksonville.
From Jacksonville, which is like a day trip or something?
It was an overnighter.
An overnighter?
It's a team on the bus.
Oh, like a football team?
Women's lacrosse.
Women's lacrosse team? I got you.
At this point, the deputy should have left the driver alone by giving him a warning or a ticket, but the evil knob thought of searching everyone on the bus for narcotics.
How many passengers do you have on the bus?
I'm gonna say 29, 30 plus me.
29 or 30 plus you? Okay. Give me just a second to walk over here and tell them what's going on, okay? If you would relax right here, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Ladies, how are y'all doing? We won't have you guys for just a few minutes, okay? He can't ride in that left lane, so next time he gets in that lane, tell him to get in the other one. All right? I'll be right back with you. Just relax, okay?
Yeah.
And what it does is, I tell you, a lot of people drive up and down this interstate, and big vehicles, these bigger vehicles right here, that fast lane clogs up. People start passing big trucks on the right. So it's illegal to pass on the right. You do that. Okay. So people start breaking the law, passing these vehicles. We have a lot of crashes. They did a study a long time ago. That's why they made that law. Okay. Anything with 6 wheels commercial vehicles, anything like that, you stay out that left lane. It's just something for you to know. It's all over. It's all, I mean, right on my car. What's
He knows I got one goes in my pocket.
What's the dog? Did the dog do anything in here?
Not back there. All the luggage is.
K-9 units were called, and the officer started to examine the personal baggage of the girls who were only traveling to play lacrosse.
Let me walk up here real quick, Tilly.
Say that again.
How do we go from being in the wrong lane to going to
Alright, well, he stopped you for, well, didn't stop y'all for a violation. He stopped the driver for a traffic violation. Okay? While he's conducting his business, I can bring my dog out for free air. That's what I've done. Dog alert on the vehicle for odor of narcotics emitting from it. That's where we're at.
Ladies, we don't single anybody out, and I'll explain. This is our job. This is what we do. Okay, every day we get out here, we stop commercial vehicles. Okay, believe it or not, the majority of the and large amounts of money, trafficking, anything up and down these interstates, that's what we look for. Okay, and today we're not saying that you guys that it's even happening here, but however, this is how we start an investigation. Okay. Most of the time, it turns out to be nothing. But there are times where we end up finding some children that are missing from their family. We find large amounts of money that nobody knows anything about.
The officers had no reasonable, articulable suspicion to check these people, as they had committed no crime. At this point, you also feel the cops were racially motivated, as the college had been known to be a historical black college and university.
Okay, or large amounts of marijuana, heroin, amphetamines, anything like that, okay? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to stop that, all right? I will tell you guys, the reason why I'm coming on the bus right now is to tell y'all, look, we're gonna check y'all's luggage, okay? If there is anything in y'all's luggage, we're probably gonna find it, okay? I'm not looking for a little bit of marijuana, but I'm pretty sure you guys as chaperones are probably gonna be disappointed in you if we find any. You guys are on a lacrosse team, correct? So if there is something in there that is questionable, please tell me now. Because if we find it, guess what? We're not going to be able to help you. Okay, anything that you can put marijuana in, maybe a device where you smoke it, maybe something that you would weigh it, like a set of scales, anything. Okay. If there's nothing, then I'm thankful to make my job a lot easier. We're going to get this done, and we'll have you guys on your way, okay? Do you guys have any more questions for me? Have I explained it pretty good? Okay, good deal. Give us a few minutes, and you guys will be on your way, okay?
None of the girls spoke, as they appeared pretty scared by this stop. On the other hand, the cops were busy opening up bags and searching for narcotics.
Hey, so they around a bunch of marijuana weekend at the hotel?
No, they didn't. Do you have any adults on this bus?
Any adults?
Just one, or you and another one? All of them are college.
Yeah, it's coaches on there. That's
They look about. Are they college?
They're college students.
Are they college students? Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure they was all over the age.
Where's number 8?
Suddenly, the cops took out a package that appeared to be wrapped as if it were a gift or something. Soon, the officer went inside the bus to investigate and threatened the poor girl, who had no idea what it was.
Who's Miss Aiken?
Yes.
What is that?
I have no clue. My aunt gave it to me.
Your aunt gave it to you?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what it is?
No, I didn't open it. I was waiting until I got back to school. I can open it now.
No, what did she tell you it was?
She didn't tell me anything.
Okay, where did you get it from?
My aunt.
Georgia. In Georgia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you took it to Florida with you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, however, this is the type of stuff that we look for.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
If
fine.
you don't know what it is, then I don't know what it is.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? I hope it's nothing that you're not supposed to have. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Give me just a minute.
Okay.
And you said in Georgia?
Yes.
Where in Georgia did she give it to
Kennesaw,
you?
Georgia.
Okay. When you went to Kennesaw? Okay. Is that where you're from? Is Kennesaw
No, I'm
State?
from Decatur.
Decatur.
Mm.
Okay. She just said, "Here, this is for you."
Yes.
And
I was
nothing.
gonna wait to open it when I got back to school. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Easter time, so yeah, it was Easter. As Easter presents.
And that may be what it is, but we're going to open it. We have to. Okay. We're not going to destroy anything.
Okay.
If it's something special, I can package it back up and not tell you.
Okay.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. The cops opened it up, only to find a simple gift, nothing illegal. And then they quickly finished their search and concluded to stop, allowing the bus to leave after 30 minutes of an unlawful delay.
Get that. Hold up. It's a book safe. It hadn't been opened. Well, I'm not going to tell her what it was, but it's nothing illegal. I told her I'd wrap it back up. Nah.
Hours.
That was inside that thing right there.
We gonna pull it? Y'all want to pull any more out of that? Nah. Y'all feel pretty good about it? All right. I'm not gonna tell you what it was, but it wasn't illegal. All right, ladies. Thank you. We're gonna get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your trip.
Later, the president of the school claimed that the students were racially profiled. The sheriff later denied this accusation, claiming no personal search had been conducted at the stop. However, the body cam footage refutes his claim, and it's pretty evident that this was much more than a routine traffic stop that should be investigated. Next up, we have these cops go against a very familiar face in the auditing world who takes them to the cleaners.
It is what it is. You're trespassing. Being arrested for trespassing. All right, no problem. That's why you're being arrested.
This public property. What does the Department of Health and Human Services have to hide? Where's the transparency for the people?
On August 29, 2023, First Amendment Auditor Sean Paul Reyes returned to the Nassau County Social Services Department to conduct an audit just a day after he was bullied by the corrupt cops. Moments into the audit, Sean was surrounded by the same pigs again.
Mr. Keller, good to see you again. I told you I'd be back. Captain?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Sir, here you go. You might want to read that.
What is
you're not
this?
allowed to video here.
Are you here
It's a
to
non-public
service?
forum.
You applying today?
Well, yeah, I'm here to conduct business, correct.
You're applying today?
Can I get your name and badge number? You weren't here yesterday.
Cowser, C-O-W-C-E-R.
I got you, Keller.
All right. 4223.
4223? Gotcha.
So nothing's changed. You're not applying today?
Well, I'm here to conduct business, constitutionally protected business, yeah.
Well, this is a non-public forum, so you can't record in here. As I said yesterday, okay?
I can record in here, for
No,
sure.
you cannot record in here.
I can.
So I'm giving you a lawful order that you can't. If you're going to continue to record, then
What would I be arrested for? Recording?
no, you're going to be trespassing.
Trespassing without breaking any laws.
Yeah, you are. Because it's a public welfare facility, like I told you yesterday.
So what is this? Is this a law?
I'm not going to get into it with you. Are you going to stop recording, or are you going to leave?
Sean had every right to film in the public building, but the officers weren't ready to listen to him as they proceeded to do something shocking.
Can you tell me what this is?
Okay, stop. Pay and play back.
It is what it is.
You're trespassing. Being arrested for trespassing.
All right, no problem.
That's why you're being arrested.
You guys are making a big mistake here.
Okay.
Trespassing is a violation. It's not even a crime in New York. It's not.
So you think?
I know the law in New York better than you. It's ridiculous.
I told you yesterday.
I
told you yesterday outside. It's going to be handled differently. You decide. You made the conscionable choice to come back here, walk into the lobby again, recording
I told
again.
You I had business
after
to conduct here.
after I told you yesterday.
I had business to conduct here. I'm here to apply for services.
No, I asked you on
I
camera.
did.
On camera.
I did,
no.
and I said I was applying for service. I said I had business to conduct here. Okay, we'll see.
You can change
it's
it
on
right
the
now.
camera. I'm not changing anything around.
I have it all covered.
I said I have constitutionally protected business to conduct here. That's what I told
Just
you.
like yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
We're all good.
You didn't let me conduct my business yesterday. I was trying to go through the metal detector today. Did you not notice that? Because I was trying to. Why don't
plead the fifth?
Yeah, why don't you do that? Yeah, because that's what you were told yesterday, right? So you want to quit back at it, right?
This wasn't the first time Sean had been arrested for not violating any law. It's 2024, and these idiot cops are still afraid of a guy with a camera.
I'm trespassing on public property, the same property that I help fund with my tax dollars.
Property. This is not public property.
This is public property.
No, it's not.
This is public property, sir. This is a public agency, sir.
How do you feel it's public property?
Because it's funded by taxpayer dollars, sir. That's why.
This property is not.
It is funded by taxpayer dollars.
This property is
You
not.
are an employee of You are an employee of the county of Nassau.
Yes, I'm an employee of Nassau County, but this is not county property.
But who pays? They lease this space through tax dollars, sir, meaning that it becomes publicly accessible.
So I stood behind you and I started seeing clients on your phone, and I walked up to you and I said, "You see this? You see it? Oh, what are you showing? You're showing me signs that don't mean anything."
They're not. They don't.
And that's on your thing.
I posted the video.
So today you come walking up again to the metal detector.
100,000 people have watched the video so far.
So no one knows, are you going through the metal detectors or not, because you did the same thing yesterday. You walked to the metal detectors and you have your phone out.
Well, you could ask me when I said I needed service on constitutional business.
When Officer Keller asked you what
I said I had business here.
So you didn't say I'm trying to apply for SNAP. You didn't say what you're trying to apply for.
Do you understand how quickly this just happened? He just put handcuffs on me in less than a few minutes.
Sean knew he would be out of jail in no time, as there was no charge against him. The officer debated with Sean, but wouldn't relinquish his rights so quickly.
Don't you think don't you think that our government should be transparent? Especially when this officer here is getting paid 6 figures?
Aren't you contradicting yourself? Because if you had applied for benefits, why are you talking about transparency and stuff like that?
Because it's transparency while you're applying for benefits as well, sir.
So you either hit apply for benefits.
No, you can do both, sir. You can do both. You can apply for benefits while holding your government accountable, and that's what I was planning on doing here today. And this officer here gets paid 6 figures every year, and we can't hold them accountable. We can't. Do you know that the law enforcement agency, sir? I'm not here just filming. I did investigative work. Law enforcement, Nassau County Police Department is the highest grossing department out of all the departments. It goes Nassau County Police, and I believe the Department of Social Services that help we the people, sir, is like 3rd on the list. And as far as budget, do you think that the people need more help, or that law enforcement needs to just keep getting richer and richer? He makes 6 figures with overtime, sir.
The fact that some of the highest paid cops in America are so dumb on the law is quite scary. Sean kept schooling the officer as he waited for the officers to arrive.
The only people that came up to me said that they supported what I did, and they wanted me to hold the government accountable.
I want to ask you a question, another question.
You're not being arrested because you recorded. Being arrested.
No, but that's an end around, sir. That's an end around, because if you can say, so for example, that's like you trespassing me because of my skin color, whether it's white or black or brown or anywhere in between. That's like you saying, we're not arresting you for your skin color, sir. We're arresting you because we told you to leave and you didn't leave. You can use criminal trespassing for anything. You could say, I don't like the way he looks. He could be, I could be a political opponent, and I'm in a city hall, and the mayor doesn't like that I'm in here. I could be asking too many questions that you don't like, that you're part of the government, and you could just say, where does it stop? Where can you not trespass somebody from property that they help fund? Even though there's no expectation of privacy, you guys have a whole lot of cameras in here, so nobody complains about those. But if somebody said, hey sir, I'd prefer not to be on your YouTube video, I would blur their face out. As long as they're not a public servant like you, I would blur their face out, because I have the capabilities to do that. So if I went through the metal detector and I had a pen or a belt or a watch, and I was secretly recording every single person, in this facility here. And I went online and I spoke to the woman, and I was very cordial. I said, hey, what services do you offer to the public here? And see how she treated me. And then I went left. You would never know I'm recording. And then I left, and I went home, and I published that video online on YouTube, Facebook, wherever.
Yes.
And I published that video. Would this law enforcement officer would he come to my house and arrest me? No, he wouldn't, because there is no charge for recording, so he couldn't do anything about it. So because I'm being honest, because I'm not surreptitiously recording in secret, because I'm being honest and I'm about my intentions to hold my government accountable, I'm in handcuffs with my freedom taken from me. But if I would have done it secretly, this officer would have had no authority to arrest me otherwise.
An experienced auditor like Sean had no problems owning these ill-informed officers who would rank their policy over the Constitution. It was almost time that they started to doubt their mistakes.
But that doesn't matter. You can only make it I understand that it's not a non-public forum, it's a limited public forum. And that means time, place, and manner restrictions, sir. I know the law. Time, place, and manner. So the time, this is during business hours. The manner, I'm being respectful. I'm not disturbing any business. Time, place, and manner. And the place, this is a public place, sir. So I'm not going against any law. There's time, place, and manner restrictions on the First Amendment in limited public forums. I understand that. And what was I doing when I was arrested? I was recording law enforcement. So that is a constitutionally protected activity, to record law enforcement. I wasn't even anywhere near the services. So again, you have your beliefs, and I understand you have your beliefs, and I can even respect your concern for people's privacy. I can, because you really are well-intentioned and you just want to look out for people's privacy, and I can respect that. But none of us have privacy. The government's always watching us. Big Brother, the government's always watching us, and all I'm trying to do is promote promote transparency within our government. I say in all my videos. If you watch my video, what did I say before the video started? I'm here to promote transparency and accountability within our government, sir.
The more the officer talked, the dumber he seemed. It was almost comical to watch him try to reason with Sean, who had a sharp answer for every ridiculous analogy the officer made.
So that's a hypothetical that I can't.
But everything you're talking is hypothetical too. So let me finish.
Let me finish one side.
Let me finish. So
we don't need to get animated. We're talking.
So that one female or male that walked past your camera, that's in hiding and came in for help. Someone just seen them on your video, and that other person, holy moly, this is where that person is going. Now I'm gonna wait for this person outside. You put somebody's life in danger, trying to prove a point against law enforcement.
Well, that's like I said before. That's a hypothetical that I guess that could happen. Sure,
yes, it could.
But it could happen with me filming outside the front door as well, sir. It doesn't mean that I have to be inside of here. If I was, let's ask the law, if I was filming outside on the street, could you have trespassed me from the street, sir?
No.
Okay, so I would still be able to see that person coming in and out of here, and I could still post it to YouTube, sir.
And you still.
What's not hypothetical right now is these cuffs digging into my skin right now, and the cell I'm about to go sit in. That's not hypothetical.
What's not hypothetical
That's real life.
is that I don't know and you don't know. But you, Aaron.
What we do know is that I'm losing my rights.
What we do know is that you didn't think about this when you aired your video.
After almost waiting for more than half an hour inside the room with handcuffs tightly cuffed around his arms, officers arrived and escorted him out of the room into the police cruiser.
Yeah, we can loosen them up. I'm just gonna switch out the cuffs before we go in, alright?
Do not put them on so tight like they are now.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Just lean forward 1 second.
It's alright, Killer put them on way too tight.
Keep your hand behind your back for now. You know what? Just stand up for me. Move over a little bit so I can get behind the bench. I'm not trying to twist your wrist.
Yeah, I'm just not trying to make any moves where you're gonna do something we both regret.
Keep your hand behind your back, both of them.
precinct are we going to?
Third precinct.
Third precinct.
Ms. Lawful, so.
Yep.
Seriously?
Yes.
Do you have anything else with you here so we don't leave it here?
That's it.
Okay, so your property?
Hold on, Sean, just take your hat off, buddy.
Sean was ultimately taken to jail and locked up. However, as expected, it didn't take long for him to be released as he maintained his composure.
Just give him a buck.
Yeah, make sure whoever's going with you stays on the whole time, okay?
That far.
Supervisor, yesterday. Hopefully we get a different one today.
You guys cool with taking this?
You have everything you need?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll just walk you out. We should go to the right.
Well, this brings us to the end of this video. Today's video showed how these evil cops made career-ending mistakes all of their own doing. Whether it was planting evidence, abusing power, or excessive force, their actions caught up to them faster than they expected. If you agree with me, please consider showing your support by liking this video, and also make sure to subscribe to stay informed about future cases like these. Also, if you enjoyed this video, check out the next video here.